folks, and welcome to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle news, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, aka Beck, and as always, you know we love hearing from you all. Your comments, your stories, ideas. Get a hold of us anytime, text or call 305-900-2363. Again, that's 305-900-2363. Or you can always drop an email to bendradioshow@gmail.com. Ryan Long Shotgun is always my producer, sound engineer, and co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. Now, we were just talking about this the other day. I know we're now into the second week of November, but anyone else notice that as soon as the night of Halloween happened, that every commercial changed to Christmas commercials?
No, I did on Halloween night. I did have that meme that I put on my Facebook page that it said, okay, now that Halloween is over, release the Kraken. And it was a picture of Mariah Carey.
You can't
singing the Christmas songs. She is not the queen of Christmas. I'm sorry. She is not, just because she had one song about Christmas.
Well, I thought it was hilarious because I had a meme sent to me the other day, and it was, if you can imagine this, a big Santa Claus. However, he was toppled on his side because he was being held down with the foot of a turkey. A turkey's on top of him, and it said, "Hold off, fat man. It's my turn."
Everybody wait your turn. Well, we've seen it retail, though. I mean, even long before Halloween was even over. We saw it in everywhere that we went. So did everybody else.
Well, get
Christmas
this.
stuff was out.
I noticed, too, I had it cross my news feed how retailers are already selling eggnog to meet the high demand of customers. They're saying even many restaurants have begun serving eggnog instead of waiting until after Thanksgiving, which is traditionally how it works. And I just thought I'd see if anybody else is A-okay with the eggnog coming out already. Personally, I love Tom and Jerry's. No, I am not an eggnog person, but depending on where you live in the country, you will know what a Tom and Jerry is.
And you're a Tom and Jerry fan.
That is my jam.
I am a fan of neither.
I know. He can't get over that I throw raw egg with boiling water and some rum in it, and I'm happy as can be.
And that's just gross. There's so many other ways for you to get your protein, dear.
Well, speaking of other things that are happening because of the holidays, up and coming, Subway also, if you haven't seen this, has introduced a double chocolate peppermint foot-long cookie for the holidays. Get this. This huge cookie, we're talking a foot-long cookie, it's only going to have a whopping 1,330 calories, and it's going to be available now until the end of the year, and the cookie is made with chocolate, white chips, peppermint swirls, and candy cane pieces. Tigger, would that be your jam?
I'm just thinking of what that would be like dunking it in coffee.
That's what I'm wondering. Would you like me to attempt to make my own homemade version of this?
No, we both agreed that now that you're back home where we are dieting, even though we're going into the holidays,
Tigger,
we're getting back into shape where we were a few years ago.
Which is funny. So those of you that are maybe like myself, who after the holidays, so back in January, I bought up a bunch of the chocolates, things like that I use for my baking goods. I try to buy them at discounted prices and then I freeze them so it's not so hard in the pocketbook this time of year.
Makes sense.
Yeah, except that you've been going through my freezer where I save this and throwing it away or handing it out to the kids, like our nephews and stuff.
I am helping with our diets.
All right. Let's switch gears. I've got a dating trend for you. Have you heard about this one? Right?
Is it naughty?
Well, it's not what I would have.
Naughty or nice?
It's not what I would have thought. But next time you're at the grocery store and you are single, you're going to keep your eyes open because apparently people are using vegetables as a code to find partners in grocery stores. They're saying people are using a unique bell pepper code. Yeah, a bell pepper. And the signal is that they place 2 bell peppers in a cart with their stems facing down. So the pepper is upside down. And that is supposedly the secret signal, that someone is single and open to meeting or hooking up.
Okay, let's just put this into perspective. You're at the grocery store and I think it's going to be a little bit weird if you are a single person and then some stranger comes up and is looking in your cart to see where the stems are on your peppers. I thought you would have picked some other vegetables maybe for this particular example, but I think that would be a little weird for people just to be like, hey, what's up? How's your peppers?
I know. But speaking of the whole dating trend, I'm going to help all the guys out right now because just remember, even though you're griping about Christmas and holidays and people are always wanting to find somebody because it's that's like the most likely time for people to find or want to be very aggressive because they don't want to spend the holidays alone.
I get it.
All of you that wear your flannel shirts, maybe a cowboy hat, you've been having a hard time. You are a wanted man right now. All right. Because think about it. All the Hallmark movies.
Oh my gosh.
They show all of us ladies dreaming about this
dumb
lumberjack type of guy.
That's dumb.
Well, I'm just saying, now's your best opportunity, your best time.
I was out cutting wood just the other day, and it didn't exactly pay off. I wasn't your lumberjack guy.
That's because I was gone hunting.
Well, that was part of it too.
But I'm just telling you, all right? So think about it. This is a back tip for you to try, all right? Those of you who are that kind of way, yes, this might be the time to roam the aisles of maybe a few Christmas decorations or where their ladies are grabbing their trees to maybe be like, hey, can I help you with that?
I think that's a much better idea than the pepper thing.
Thank you.
I don't know where you found that.
I didn't. I just thought of it.
The pepper thing?
No,
I'm talking about the grocery store.
No, but I'm saying you just said my idea was better. I just came up with that whole idea.
Yes, that idea is better than the whole turn the peppers a certain way. That's dumb. Wherever you found that, you need to destroy that.
All right, so all of you guys start roaming the aisles of where the ladies are buying their Christmas stuff, and that's where you have your swagger. Be ready, okay?
All these guys are going to be buying bows now. Is what's going to happen.
Here's another one for you, though, that I found interesting. The New York Post had reported on it and did a study, and apparently they're saying, this is a heads up for those of you that might have kids going and looking at colleges right now. They're saying that Gen Z students are picking colleges based on TikTok aesthetics. Get this, that's a little alarming to me. They're saying influencers are prioritizing campus appeal for content creation. So much as 57% of Gen Z students aim to be full-time influencers.
This is dumb.
It's dumb, but it's something to be aware of. If all of a sudden you're wondering, why is my child looking at this college? There might be other alternative purposes.
Because they're going to make a full-time career out of being a social media influencer.
Yes.
You know, we really need to do a study on that, or actually get some people on the show, because I would like to know really what percentage of those people that want to be a social media influencer actually are able to provide themselves with a full-time income from it.
Well, get this. According to New York Post, they're saying 57% of these Gen Z students aim to be full-time influencers. Now, I don't know about long-range plans, but from where I'm sitting, I don't think that's a great long-term plan to think that you're going to be an influencer for your career. We'll put it that way, for the long run, all right? But this is the other thing I thought was fascinating. When you talk about some of our youth and when they get up in the morning, those Gen Zers that are influencers or aiming to be one, the study says that they're waking up around 4 a.m. in the morning to start creating TikTok videos before they go to school.
Why not go to the gym?
I know. Exactly. I'm with you. All right.
I guess I need
or
to
get outside
TikTok
and do a little more outdoor activity.
Something.
But I just thought it was something good to share. All right, here's some other news. The world's largest crocodile has passed away. For anybody that was wondering, the world's largest crocodile was 110 years old. And he was from Australia, and he weighed over a ton. He was 18 feet long, and his name was Cassius, and he was captured back in 1984. Anyway, he has been a beloved tourist attraction for many, many years.
I wonder if that was anywhere around like Steve Irwin back in the day.
Good question.
What if that was with one of his zoos or preserves?
I have
gotta
no
look into
idea.
that.
And by the way, speaking of
Frankie.
lost, well-known animals, many of us, I had never said anything the other week, but for those of you that have followed the Queen of the Tetons, the grizzly bear, number 399, she did pass away a couple of weeks ago in a sad little accident that happened in Yellowstone. There's been so many pictures taken of Grizzly 399, the sow, aka known as Queen of the Tetons, over the last 25 plus years. So I just wanted to bring that up for those of you that may have seen her and been lucky enough to follow her journey. She was always one that people hoped to see when they were heading out to Yellowstone. And with that bit of news, let's take a short break. The Bend Radio Show will be back right after this. You've waited, dreamt of a hunting adventure, and now have harvested that trophy of a lifetime. Keep the memory alive with a custom designed mount, preserved as a work of art. Check out our approved taxidermist depending on your location. The award-winning Schneider Taxidermy is located in Helena, Montana. When hunting the Dakotas, JB's Wildlife Designs in Mandan, North Dakota. Then Shadron Creek Taxidermy in Nebraska. And for the Central USA, Little Rack Taxidermy in Macomb, Illinois. Reach out to The Ben Show and let us help you find the right taxidermist.
Hey guys and gals, this is John Arman with Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV. Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV travels the back roads to the backwaters in pursuit of the ultimate adventure in hunting and fishing. Join Team UOA every week for exciting action in the crosshairs of the outdoors. Catch Ultimate Outdoor Adventures TV on YouTube, Amazon Prime, and make sure to follow Team UOA on Facebook and Instagram to share in the ultimate outdoor adventure.
This is Beck. First, I appreciate all of you for listening and making The Bend part of your week. Many of you have asked, how do I catch past episodes? The answer is super easy. Head to thebendshow.com and click on the Shows tab. There you can listen to every episode all the way back to episode 1. Podcasters, head to your favorite podcasting app and search The Bend. You'll find us. Be sure to follow and subscribe and never miss another episode again. Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Bend Show. I'm your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck, riding along shotgun, my co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. Now, yes, I just got back from another adventure. It was fun. It was cold. We had all kinds of elements weather-wise to deal with, but it was a great time regardless. What happened? I went on an elk trip with my brother and his son, and I just went along for the ride on this one. We'll put it that way. Yeah, how else would you put it, Tigger?
You were a glorified Sherpa.
Yes, there's no kidding behind that because I tended to have everything that they forgot.
So the big question is, did you come back with any elk?
And sadly, no, we did not.
But you didn't have your elk tag. You just went along for kind of family fun.
Those priceless moments.
Yep, but you did get your wolf tag, though.
I did get a wolf tag, but I did not fill the wolf tag either.
You didn't fill the wolf tag. You didn't get a shot off. Now, did your brother or nephew, did they come back with an elk?
No, they did not fill their tags. Did they have the opportunity to each throw some lead out there? Yes. However, as you can understand, my nephew, for example, he's also my godchild. He took a shot at 980 yards. Was it calculated? Yes. Just so you know, we were shooting rifles that were designed to make a 1,000-yard shot. Just so you understand, that's why he did take the opportunity. However, it did not work out. My brother, he also had a shot at a bull. However, it was in a very thick, forested, wooded area, and it was a stand-up kind of shot. And the minute he took the shot, he looked at me and he said, "I flinched." And
the weather really changed for you out there because you sent me pictures and you went from just kind of a fall day in the mountains of Montana to you woke up the next morning to 10 inches of snow. And
yes.
Completely changed the dynamic. Unfortunately, it was the last day of your hunt. If you could have stayed a few more days, maybe you would have got lucky.
Absolutely, because of the migration, that snow kind of forces those elk that are at higher elevations to start coming down. If you're wondering what kind of elevation we were hunting at between 7,500 and 8,000 in elevation. And we did get to see something that was new for me. Have come across many elk over the years. However, I'd never seen a true herd, and we're talking like a herd of 200 plus that were starting their migrate.
Wow.
And we were hunting public land, for those of you that understand how that can be difficult. And this herd was on private land, so we weren't, of course, able to take any shots at that. But it was one of those moments where you sit there and you go, wow, how many people get to actually watch a herd of over 200 plus elk first, all being together, making that migration, but then sitting there and hearing the bugling. That was probably a highlight for me, was just to hear those bulls. And it kind of gave you chills because it felt like a National Geographic moment, kind of, if that makes sense.
So was it Onyx that you were using as an app to help you with identifying the private land?
Yes, we were using
Is
Onyx.
that what you were using for technology?
Correct. So for those of you that are not familiar with Onyx, there are a lot of apps that are out there now that do this, but we chose to use Onyx. I've used it for many years since the get-go, and yes, it was to show where the property boundaries are. We're to also show where some of these trails are through the public land, as well as to set waypoints. For example, we were using our own ranch horses, and at times you ride in as far as you want, but then tie them up and then put a pin in and then track our trail so that we could make sure we found the horses, because sometimes in that kind of elevation with very, very heavily forested, you can become, however you want to say, disoriented easily. And I always do that just to make sure we get back to where we need to with the horses, as well as we went in. We're talking like 5-6 miles away from base camp, where sometimes you want to make sure, and if we didn't follow the exact trail, that we made it back to where we needed to find the switchbacks to get back to camp. Because in that kind of an environment, let me reflect a little bit on how it works with us. When we leave camp, we're leaving at camp well before sun up. So we're saddling our horses, we're riding out, we're wearing headlamps, of course, our orange vests for hunting, but with headlamps, and we're going through all the switchbacks and the terrain to get to where we want to set up in the dark. And that's, like I said, many, many miles in the dark. And then coming home at night, same thing. We're coming back in the dark. And then the switchbacks with our horses, we've learned over the years, just a tip for those of you thinking about doing this with your horses and wondering how good a physical shape you yourself are in, we lead our horses back down the switchbacks. We ride our horses up, but we lead them down the switchbacks because it's a lot easier on our horses.
Is that just because of the elevation that you're at, that kind of hard to breathe, or the simple fact that this is tough for horses to go up to that of 5 miles and trek in?
Well, the reason why we lead them on the way back is because of the muscles that they're having to use going downward. It's very stressful on their body, on their joints.
Okay, gotcha.
And then also in case of if they'd slip, they'd fall, thinking about that, you'd rather not go down with your horse. We'll put it that way. A horse is more likely to trip and stumble in the dark going down than they are going up.
And you saw other hunting parties, but they were afoot. And you had I think you texted me this, or when you called me and you said, I can't believe that some of these guys are going back and forth and back and forth and back and forth multiple times.
Packing in
and
packing out. Yeah, packing out their elk on back. Some of them would have some very, very good friends. We're going to put it that way. You know, there was one group of
Bunch
guys.
of Sherpas.
I had to laugh. There's one group of guys. The individual, he was able to get 4 other buddies. So 5 of them went in to pack out the elk he had taken down, and this was all done on foot, and I had to laugh. I had already made it back to camp on horseback, and in the dark, all of a sudden I heard his buddies yell, "We made it!"
So were they camped where you were camped?
Well, they actually decided not to camp. They were coming in, so they were driving.
But they kind of went by your camp area, it sounds,
right.
If you were able to hear them or something.
Well, because it's public land, you all stage at a trailhead.
Gotcha.
And you enter in at the same location and then go the various different trails, however you might want to go. But I thought it was kind of neat when you saw these guys going, we made it. Now I have a tip for you that are into ballistic trajectory calculations. This one I'd never thought of. Some of us that are into this, we will go and have it figured out for our caliber. So we understand the range, the drop, the velocity of our bullets. We'll have that taped or laminated on the stock of our rifles.
Oh, just like a little piece of paper is
Yes.
a cheat code is what you're saying?
After you range find it, you
Yep,
range
yep.
it, you look at your stock quick, you got your numbers, you know what the drop's going to be.
Yep.
Well, here one was thrown at you. My nephew, Bleu, he's only 16 years old, but he came up with this idea. He actually took his caliber, he made his own chart, but instead of printing it and putting it on the side of his rifle stock, he actually screenshotted it and made it the Screensaver on his cell phone. So he just had to tap the button, it lit up, boom, he was able to see how many yards he thought he was shooting at, what the drop would be, but it was right there on his phone, which is always with almost all of us. We all have our phones with
So
us.
it was an app or something that he went into and he entered all the information?
Actually, he didn't even go to an app. He just Googled Ballistics Calculator.
Oh,
yeah,
cool.
That's all he did. He Googled Ballistics Calculator. I then tried it myself, chose what kind of calculator I wanted to use because I could determine which type of bullet I was using. And I was surprised. Everybody from Hornady, they all have different calculators out there, but it was a great idea. Now I have it on my phone for my rifle as well. Okay, enough about elk camp. We're going to take a short break. We got more of the Ben Show coming at you right after this. The holidays are around the corner, and finding that thoughtful gift is always the goal. We have the perfect idea for you. Meet author Rochelle Barrett, The Prairie Crocus.
I welcome you to my world, a collection of poems, love notes, and essays about ranch life, motherhood, and life lessons from the prairie in my new book, Anthology, and 2024 Ranch Life Calendar. Order both today at prairie-crocus.com.
Beautiful photos with words that speak to the heart and soul. Prairie-crocus.com, turning thoughts into writings from the heart. A perfect gift in time for the holidays.
This is Sean McCoy with Mickey's Mustard. If you're like me, you love your condiments. So, are you feeling hot and sassy? Digging something sweet and zesty? Mickey's Mustard has it all. Mickey's is 100% all-natural mustard sauce made with banana peppers. And get this, it's fat-free to boot. Shop at Mickey's. That's MICKEYS. Mickey'sMustard.com. Ain't nothing like it, and it's straight from the heart of Texas.
I love this stuff. I ate the whole bottle in like 2 days.
The hunt is planned. The guide is booked. The trip is blocked off in the calendar. But one huge detail remains, preserving that trophy, creating a memory that will last a lifetime. Little Rack Taxidermy has that fast, friendly service to fulfill your taxidermy in a timely, professional manner. Reach out to Heather with Little Rack Taxidermy through Facebook at Little Rack Taxidermy or send an email to heatherjoe23@hotmail.com. Little Rack Taxidermy, bringing back the natural look.
Shooting ducks, skinning bucks, I'm a hunting princess in a pickup truck.
Welcome back to your outlet for outdoors and Western lifestyle, The Ben Show. I am your host, Rebecca Wanner, a.k.a. Beck, and right along shotgun, my co-host, Jeff Tigger Earhart. All right, I hate to talk about holiday shopping and such, but I got a gift idea if you're thinking already about a stocking stuffer, or you've been looking at your hunting knives and wondering, it's time to upgrade. What can I use that would make it easier out in the field? Now, many of us think about the nostalgic of handing down, yes, Grandpa's old hunting knife and such.
The big buck knife, the 110.
Yes.
I've got one of those. It's like a foot long.
I have one too. And we do treasure those. However, sometimes it would be nice to maybe find something that's a little quicker, easier, and stays sharper, especially if you find yourself halfway through skinning an animal or something and you're going, oh, it's dull already. Have you tried out the Outdoor Edge? Tigger introduced me to the Outdoor Edge, which...
And it was your brother that introduced me to the Outdoor Edge.
Oh, okay. Well, there...
Yeah, Adam got this for me for a Christmas present.
Oh, my brother did. Okay.
Yeah.
And he got you an Outdoor Edge,
Yeah.
3.5 inch with replaceable blades.
Game changing.
That's the key right there.
Game changing right there.
Replaceable blades. You're out in the field, on the go, boom, swipe them out, and you keep rocking and rolling.
And this was less than $50 because the knife itself, I think, comes with either 3 or 6 replaceable blades, and then you can buy another pack of 6, and that's what I got you. So I think you've got, about 10 right there, pretty near a dozen.
And when we checked out, it was it's a $40 gift. Excellent gift for that guy or gal that's into being out in the field, whether you're doing pheasants, you're doing big game, whatever it might be. And the reason why we like this outdoor edge, the 3.5-inch edge, is that it's a little longer, has a little more to it. Some people like the scalpel kinds, but they end up breaking. And the worst thing you could have happen is have that break and then have to try and find a blade.
Right,
and these blades do not break. The other thing we've recently learned is that those replaceable blades, you can actually resharpen them.
That's what your brother said. Now, he said, don't throw them away. That's what I was doing, was just buying new blades. He said, no, they're really, really easy to put an edge on.
Yeah, we found out he was just using the good old kitchen knife sharpener in his drawer. And right there, we had him sharp again. So there you go. That's a gift. And this is not a paid for sponsorship. This is totally something that we have used in the field, discovered on our own. Check it out. The Outdoor Edge 3.5-inch replaceable blade hunting knife. I'll have a link on our website, thebendshow.com. That's a wrap for this week, folks. Remember, keep sending in your questions, your concerns, your ideas. If you know of something spa-worthy to share, you can get a hold of us at 305-900-2363. That's call or text 305-900-2363. Or you can always email bendradioshow@gmail.com. And if you missed part of this show or you want to hear past episodes, you can find them all on the website, thebendshow.com. And be sure to subscribe on your favorite podcasting app and to The Ben Show YouTube channel. Finally, a big thanks to all of you listeners out there that came along. And whether you're coming or going today, stay with us as we ranch it up. And remember, keep up with me, Beck, all week long by following The Ben Show on Facebook and on Instagram. That's right, at The Ben Show. This is Rebecca Wanner. Catch Beck if you can next week on The Ben.